Hello and welcome back to this channel. So this is the first video in the series of Python for Data Engineer. So first of all, if you haven't connected me on LinkedIn, go and please connect me on LinkedIn. So now let's get started. We'll start from Python basics. There are multiple types of Python data types, which are numeric, dictionary, Boolean, set, sequence, and corresponding data types are further categorized into the subtypes. Like the numeric data types is having integer, complex number, and float data types, and the sequence data type contains string, list, tuple, etc. We'll see these corresponding data types in detail. So let's get started. So we will be using Databricks Community Edition for this. And if you don't know how to create the Community Edition account, I have already uploaded this video in my YouTube channel. I will put the link in comment section or the description as well. So as you can see, the cluster is terminated. So one thing about, or I would say there is limitation in the community edition of Databricks is that once the cluster is terminated, you can create or you can restart the same cluster. You need to create the another new cluster or the new resource. So I'm creating the new resource here first, and cluster name will be my cluster. I'm selecting 13.3 LTS version of the Databricks cluster. Let's create. You can see here the cluster is now created. As you can see, the type of Databricks notebook is Python for all the cells. Let me tell you the shortcuts to run the corresponding cell in the Databricks notebook. So if you have to run the all code in the single cell, then you can just use Control Enter to run all the code written in a particular cell. But if you want to run only selected code from the cell, that is, I'm selecting the first line in the cell and I want to run this first line of code only. So I will use Control Shift Enter to run the selected line only. Else you can use the Run Select Text option from the drop down, and you can see the output is for the code which is selected and run. So now let's get started for the Python data types. So first is integer. So integer contains positive or negative or whole numbers without any decimals or fractions. The float is real number with the float point representation. It's represented by decimal point. And complex number is a combination of real part and imaginary part. The imaginary part contains the j as a suffix. I just assign a whole number to the value to the variable a, and let's print the type of this variable. So you can see this type of variable is from the integer class. Similarly, I assign the value with the fraction or decimal pointer to the variable b, and let's say its corresponding type. So you can see the type is float, and similarly I have assigned the complex number to this variable c, and let's see the type. So it's a complex class. The integer value is represented by integer class, float value will be represented by float class, and the complex value will be represented by complex class. Another data type is string. So Python strings are the arrays of bytes which represents Unicode characters. There is no character data type in Python. So there is no such a character data type in Python. A character is a string of length 1. So character is also a string, we can say here. Let's print this variable where we have assigned the string hello, welcome to my channel, and here you can see it's printed here. So let's check the data type. The string s is from the class string, that is class str. So we can access the corresponding part or the expected parts of the string, same like an array, because the string is a array of bytes as we see. So as we see earlier, that string is a byte of array. So same like array, we can access the parts of string as per our convenience. So let's print first. So you can see the E is here. So I have printed the index of 1, that is E. So E is printed here. It starts with 0. So if I fetch 0th index for that string, you will see H here. Similarly, for 2, second index means the third position, that is L, will be printed. Okay, and we can also access parts of the string with the negative index as well. So for this negative part, unlike the positive indexing, the negative indexing starts with -1 and not 0. So let's say what it gives us. Yeah, it gives us L letter, that is the first letter from the last. Let's say -3, and it will gives us the third letter from the last, that is N. So in this way we can access the strings and the subparts of the string. We see in the sequence type. The first was string, the second is list. So let's see the list. List is nothing but an array. It's an order collection of data. And we can initialize empty list with the square brackets like mentioned here. And then we can assign the list with the integer values. And each value in the list is called item. So we can add the items from the different data types in the single list, and which will not give any error. So let's see. Here we have assigned string, integer, both data types of values, which is acceptable. So now coming to the accessing list items, we will see the all data types in Python with the basic part, and we will see their advanced part in upcoming videos. So let's see how to access list items. So this is the list which contains all the string values. And as we see earlier in the string part, where we try to access the parts of the string with the indexing. Similarly, here in the case of list, we can access the list items with the indexing. So the 0 and second index will access the first and third item of the list. So let's see. So you can see here, the 0th index means the first item from the list, that is hello. And the second index means the third item of the list, that is thanks for watching, is printed here. And here as well, we can access the list items using negative indexing. So -1 is the first item from the last, and -3 will be the third item from the last. Right. Now let's see tuple. So tuple is just like a list. So tuple is also an order collection of Python objects. The only difference between tuple and list is tuples are immutable and list can be mutable. That means list can be modified, but tuples cannot be modified alter once it's created. So another difference between the list and tuple is list is denoted by the square brackets and tuple is denoted by round brackets. So same like a list, we can initiate empty tuple with the round brackets, and this is the tuple with the string values. So let's print this tuple. So you can see printing the tuple will give us the corresponding tuple values along with the round brackets, and in the list it will give with the square brackets. So this is the difference. Now, same like a list, tuple can be with the mixed data types as we see. So here the list was with the integer and string data type items, and here the tuple contains string, integer, and even the list data type objects. So let's print this tuple, how this looks. So yeah, you can see here the corresponding tuple, that is which is denoted with the round brackets, contains the items with the different data types like string, integer, and array. So if we want to access the corresponding item from the list, which is as an item of the tuple, so we can access that as well. So to access this, first we need to access corresponding item, that is the list from the tuple. So we got this list which was on the number 3rd, and now if I add 0th index to access the first item from that list, which was the item of the tuple, then we can use that part as well. That is, we received or we see 34 on the screen. So in this way, we can access any part of the item from the tuple. So from this part, if we try to access the string part of item number 1, that is pineapple, that we can also do that part as well. So first what I will do is to access the first part, that is index 0 item, that is pineapple, and if I want to access the fourth part, means the third index item from that string, then we can do this as well. So you can see the E is printed here. So in this way we can go through each and every item of the list and tuple. Tuple can be initiated with the tuple constructor. I have passed the list input to this function tuple to get the tuple. Let's print this to see the output. So you can see I have provided the list as an input to the tuple constructor, and it gives us that conversion of the list to the tuple. As we seen in the above cell, that we can access the tuple with the positive index. Same like a list and string, we can access the tuple with the negative indexing as well. And yes, we need to keep in mind that negative indexing starts with the -1 and not 0, unlike the positive indexing. Next is mapping data type in Python, that is dictionary. Basically, dictionary holds a key value pair data. Key value pair is provided in the dictionary to make it more optimized. So same like a list and tuple, empty dictionary can be initialized with the curly braces. The key value pair is separated by comma in the dictionary. Dictionary is printed along with the curly braces. Similarly, with the tuple constructor, we can create the dictionary using dict constructor or the dictionary constructor. So we are passing the key value pair in the curly braces to the dictionary function or constructor to convert the corresponding value to the dictionary type. And let's print the output here. You should see the data in key value pair in the curly braces. What you can see the difference between this dictionary and the above dictionary is in those two dictionaries, you can see there is same data type of keys, that is keys are as integer data type and values as a string data type. But we can use any data type or string data type in the key as well, the key part as well. So you can see the first key is 1, which is integer, but second key is string format. So to access the corresponding value from the dictionary, we don't use any indexing, but we use element. So to access the corresponding value from the expected key from the dictionary, we can use the key instead of indexing. So if I want to check the value of key name, I will just access it using the key name. And I will just access it using key name. You can access the list item using get method as well. So you can see the syntax is dictionary name dot get, and using inside the get you have to pass the parameter, that is key name or key, as a input parameter to fetch the value of respective key. So we have Boolean data type which contains bool as a data type. So it has two built-in values, that is true or false. Even after this, the non-Boolean objects can be evaluated in the Boolean context. So we can determine the true and false out of non-Boolean objects or values as well. So you can see it contains the true and false with the case sensitive part. So if you pass the parameter true without single quote, means it will not accept it as a Boolean. So if I pass it as a single quote, then it will give it as a string and not a Boolean. So this is the part where the Boolean values or the Boolean data type has two built-in values which are case sensitive, is need to keep in mind. So as I said earlier, that any non-Boolean objects can be evaluated as a Boolean. So where this is the list of falsy values. So number 0, 0.0 or complex number with the 0, j can be converted into Boolean and it will give the output as a false. So this is the chart where it will give the false as a output when we try to convert into the Boolean. So let's see the example here. So I try to convert 1 to the Boolean, it will give true. But when I try to convert 0 to the Boolean, it will give me the false. And same like a given chart, the empty list is passed, which will give false. Empty string will give also false. Empty string will also give us the false, and non-empty string as a true. We can use here the tuple or empty dictionary, which again will give us the false. So the next is set data type in Python. The set data type contains set and Frozenset subtypes further. So first let's see set. So set is an unordered collection of data types that is iterable, mutable, but it should not have duplicate elements, or it does not allow duplicate elements. So same like a list and tuples and dictionary, we can initialize empty set. So we can use the set constructor to convert the input items into the set. So here I have passed string to the set constructor. Let's see the output. You can see here created with the characters from the provided string. The string which is containing the duplicate characters, the corresponding conversion to the set is not containing the duplicate characters, but as you can see here, the capital C and the small c are treated as a distinct letters. That is, set is, we can say, case sensitive. So even if I add mango and again mango, it will definitely treat it as a different items or the different or distinct elements. If you have to pass the more than one input to the set constructor, you have to pass it with the square bracket. So it will convert it into the set. And you can see here, it treated the both values as a distinct values. If I add value with the same case, then let's see what it gives. Yes, so as per the set definition, it will give only single value from the duplicate values we provided as an input. So here as well, we have provided the list as an input to the set constructor to create the list. And the list is containing all the items as a string items. As per the set definition, set is also iterable. As the name suggests, iterable, we can look through the each part of the set and let's see, print the item from the set. You can see here, all the items are printed separately. We can also check if the corresponding item is present in the set or not. So if corresponding item in the present in the set, then it will return the true, otherwise false. That is, the output type is Boolean. Let's see the type of corresponding output, which is Boolean. Yes, it's from the class Boolean. Next is Frozenset. As the name suggests, Frozenset is also the set, but only difference between the set and Frozenset is that the Frozensets are immutable. That means cannot be modified or altered as like the sets can be. Its difference is Frozenset is hashable, so it can be used as a dictionary key. I'm passing the set, which is denoted by curly braces, to the Frozenset function to convert it into the Frozenset. And I'm passing duplicate value. Let's see. So you can see the type is Frozenset. And if we check the output or the contents of the set, it contains the Frozenset 2456. That is an ordered collection of deduplicated data. If I try to add any element to this set S1, that is Frozenset, it will definitely give error. That is, it has no attribute to add. But let's see, this is the set 1, which is not a Frozenset. And if I try to add atom to the set, it will not give any error. And let's check the contents of the updated set 1. You will see the 5 is added. In this part, we have seen the Python data types, which contains numeric data, sequence data type, mapping data type, Boolean data type, and set data type, and their corresponding subtypes listed here. In the next video, we will see binary data type in Python, which contains data types as bytes, byte array, memory view, with the detailed part, as we don't know about the bytes, byte array, memory view generally. So we will see these data types in more detail